A new year, but it's the same old objective for Chelsea. Aim for the top as they start 2026. 6 points behind leaders Manchester City. West Ham, under their new Italian manager, look to climb away from the risk of relegation. There's a long ball down the right-hand side initially for Canarid to chase, and West Ham, I expect, would have the majority of the ball in this game, Helen. Sorry, Chelsea will.
Yeah, I expect it will be a very dominant performance.
There's an early cross into the West Ham penalty area, as Chelsea just look to set the tempo for the game early on. James in behind. No West Ham defenders anywhere to be seen. And with 46 seconds on the clock, Chelsea take the lead. It looks like the last touch came off a West Ham player. Endo is the player who runs away sheepishly. But with less than a minute played, the champions kickstart 2026 with a goal and the perfect start this afternoon for Chelsea and Sonia Bonpastor.
Oh, that's all too easy for Chelsea, isn't it? I mean, the time and space afforded. Lauren James just nonchalantly playing it through. Ellie Carpenter all the time in the world to play the ball across. She's actually not picked out anyone anywhere near anyone in blue. And Endo just gets it all wrong and sees it into the back of her own net. A really, really tough start for West Ham, but certainly Chelsea will be feeling very happy to get off the mark so early.
Well, we expected goals, but I don't think we expected one within the first minute. A disastrous start for Rita Guarino, conceding a goal in her first minute as West Ham manager.
And if you're West Ham, you know, all the talk would have been keep it tight, don't do anything silly early on. And it's the exact opposite of that has happened already this afternoon. And that just puts you on the back foot. Your whole game plan goes out the window. They'd have been looking to keep it tight, be organised, be tough to break down, but it was just so easy on Chelsea's right-hand side to find the space and the time. And yeah, as I said, Endo gets it all wrong in front of her own goal, and it's a really terrible start to 2026.
Not ideal for West Ham United. As West Ham look to get a feel for the ball. Endo's first touch was to turn it into the back of her own net. That's a heavy touch back, and we'll go behind for a corner. West Ham all over the place in the first few minutes here.
Yeah, well, you asking me if I predict 11 goals prior to kickoff, I said no, but the way that West Ham have started this game, I do fear for them. And if Chelsea turn up and do what Chelsea can do, this could get very messy.
Sandy Baltimore trudges forward to take the first corner of the afternoon. Security going to have to get out the way if Baltimore's to take this corner as she would like to. Into the near post it goes. It's nodded away by Endo. Baltimore receives it again. Sandy Baltimore finds space, finds the cross, and finds the hands of Kinga Shemik. She had to hold on to that there because there was players lurking in blue.
Yeah, she did well. Nice and confident from the goalkeeper there, but again, a bit too easy for Chelsea to find a way into the box from the right-hand side. Sandy Baltimore onto her left foot, whipping it in. A good delivery, and I think had the goalkeeper not been there, Alyssa Thompson was ready to pounce. So it's an important one for her. That will settle her down a little bit. Shemek in the West Ham goal. But it is, yeah, it's looking like a very tough afternoon already, isn't it?
I don't think our camera team have looked in the Chelsea half yet. It may only be 4 minutes in, but it's ominous signs for West Ham. But this is what Chelsea have to do if they're to catch Manchester City, because there's such a significant goal difference as well. They need to close that gap as well.
Yeah, and a couple of years ago when goal difference was a big factor, Chelsea turned up and had that big win. I think it was against Bristol City at home.
Here's Carpenter, the right back bursting all the way into the penalty area, goes down right on the edge of the white line. She's still protesting with the referee Pearson. There's Cuthbert. Now James. West Ham chasing Chelsea shadows at the moment. And he's Bright. Now Vila Berman. Baltimore down the line. It's tight over on that far side. Manages to find space despite there being none, and continues. Baltimore, great play. Great ball in as well. Comes all the way through to Carpenter, who keeps it alive. Well, that's not great defending once again. And it ricochets behind for a corner.
And the only thing you can say about Chelsea is without that out-and-out number 9, there's been a couple of crosses. One ultimately did end up in an own goal, but it hasn't really been a presence in and around that 6-yard box. Sunday Baltimore just driving it across there, nobody there to touch it home. That'd be the only concern you'd have, but at the moment it's looking very much like that won't be a problem for Chelsea.
Look how packed the 6-yard box is for this corner. Doesn't beat the first player at the near post though. Cuthbert will let that go out for a throw, and she apologises for the disappointing corner. And here's Baltimore. Chelsea happy to start again at the back. There's Carpenter. She'll be claiming the assist for that own goal, won't she?
Absolutely, yeah, that's a goal involvement for her all day long. She's been a really positive signing, actually, I think, for Sonia Bonpastor. I think she's added a lot of intensity and athleticism down this right-hand side, but delivers quality, scored a couple of goals and got a number of assists. I think she's been an excellent addition, and you know, not many players will keep Lucy Bronze out of the side, but at the moment she seems to be the favoured one in this formation as a right wing back.
Well, Lucy Bronze available on the bench today. Now, Hannah Hampton gets her first touch of the game and of the year. Missed the end of last season with a quad injury. Opened up the door for Peng to make a handful of appearances in the WSL. James. Space on the right-hand side for Carpenter once again. Cuthbert now. West Ham with plenty of ecru shirts back. Bright. Into Nuskins, who runs into a dead end but finds a way out. And Berman fizzes it into Baltimore. Morgan trying to stand strong, but Baltimore still has it. Oh, well, Chelsea were looking for the overlapping run there, but there was nobody making the movement, and eventually they concede possession rather cheaply. But here's the own goal once again.
Yeah, it's hard to defend Endo, isn't it, really? Nobody around her in blue, but the ball was fizzed across by Ellie Carpenter into the perfect area. And you say, as a wide player, get it into the area and you don't know what might happen. It makes it very difficult for defenders, but Endo will be really disappointed. Just gets her feet all messed up and can't help, but I think it actually came off her standing leg into the back of the goal.
And she'll feel pretty embarrassed about that moment. A complete air kick from the Japanese defender, but here come West Ham. Immediately though, Ellie Carpenter onto it to prevent Asehi making any attacking progress. That's the thing with Carpenter as well. She's so dangerous attacking with that pace, but she can also make up the ground defensively.
Yeah, she's a fantastic athlete, really quick, gets up and down for fun. And that can help, as you said, at both ends of the pitch. Is a real vital quality for her to have.
Now Hampton, closed down, seemed really calm despite Shakira Martinez closing the gap on the England goalkeeper. Here's Niskin. Baltimore. And now Millie Bright, who scored a rare goal in that 9-1 victory against Liverpool in the League Cup at the end of last year. Canary tries to dance her way through. She thought she was going to have a corner there, but goal kick the decision from the referee Pearson. Sonia Bonpastor clearly would have done something different there, apparently.
It's always interesting when you have a player of Sonia Bonpastor's quality become a manager. It must be very difficult to expect things that you may have done from players that maybe do things slightly differently.
As the shot comes in from range, it's an easy save for Kinga Shemik. But they're finding space that would worry Rita Guarino. Nuskin with the latest to test the West Ham goalkeeper.
Yeah, and that's the trouble for West Ham at the moment. They're getting a lot of bodies back and around the ball, but how many of them are actually impacting the Chelsea players and their decision-making? You know, it all seems a little bit too easy for them to find space in an area that they shouldn't be able to do that.
Frustration in the middle of the park for Asei. Now Rico Wakey is down for West Ham United. She ran straight into Cuthbert. Might just have had the wind knocked out of her.
Yeah, Cuthbert's a formidable opponent in the middle of the pitch. She's got so much quality and technical ability, but she's an absolutely robust central midfielder who puts herself around and, you know, makes herself hard to beat. Just in there, yeah, just a coming together, nothing in it. Obviously the West Ham players come off worse. There's a clash of knees perhaps. She's grabbing her knee. Hopefully it's nothing more than an impact. You always worry when someone goes down holding their knee, don't you?
Yeah, it looks like the club doctors are testing out the knee, and you use the word robust, seeing if that left knee has any robustness in it. We can see all the West Ham players at the back in conversation about what to do, because they really haven't started in an attacking sense in this game yet.
No, there's some players on the pitch that you've barely noticed. They haven't been able to get on the ball in any way, shape or form. Just trying to figure out the rotations and movements of teams like Chelsea. And you know, that front three of Kenneridge, James and Thompson, particularly James and Thompson, I'd imagine there'll be a lot of switching and changing of positions between those two. And that's really tough for West Ham to deal with. Who's going to take them on? Do you pass them on? Do you follow? All those sorts of messages which you've got to get nailed on as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you're going to be in a little bit of bother.
Well, Katrina Gorry is the West Ham captain and trying to inspire the troops. Erin Cuthbert comes over to check out the situation with Rico Uweki. Seems to be okay as Rita Guarino gets used to the southern England weather. Probably just a little bit warmer in Milan and Turin.
You would imagine so, yes.
You can't quite see the knees coming together because the referee was stood in the way.
There it is, just at the end. Erin Cuthbert, as she goes to plant her foot, Uweki's knee is just underneath the studs. So I think it is an impact, which is good. But it's obviously a sore one on a cold day as well. She probably hasn't fully warmed up the skin. That will be a sore one, but hopefully it's nothing more than just that impact of the studs under the knee. I thought it was a knee on knee, but actually it was, as Cuthbert comes down, she just catches her with her studs. Completely unintentional, of course, nothing in it. And Cuthbert, we saw apologising, but I'm hoping that Uweki can come back on and have no further problems.
She's limping off. There's going to be more treatment for the Japanese forward. West Ham temporarily a player light. Can Chelsea take advantage of it? Baltimore does well to keep the ball in. And is now in an offside position. I think she started off the pitch there. Can't be in a more offside position than that when you're behind the corner flag. 13 minutes played here at Kings Meadow though. And it's Chelsea 1, West Ham 0. The WSL champions starting 2026 perfectly. I made it 47 seconds. Some may say 48, but either way, it was in the first minute. As Brighton and Hove Albion have taken the lead in the Midlands. Nuskin with the flick on. Down goes Thompson. A few shouts from the players and a few from the supporters over on the far side, but no free kick given. Look at Chelsea's press, they're full of energy. 4 hunting down the ball here. They look so uncomfortable at the back. Hanshaw somehow manages to get it back to a goalkeeper. Chelsea not giving up. That's wonderfully done by Morgan. That's a push in the back on Asei, or is it? No foul. There's a West Ham player, you know, Chelsea are absolutely brilliant winning the treble last season, but when they hunt you down like that as well, the determination is just unmatched. Well, that's a shove in the back.
Yeah, so silly challenge that, really. I don't think Thompson ever had the ball under control. Was probably going to send it out for a West Ham throw, but just a bit too aggressive there. I think it was Hamshaw, was it? Just in the back. You know, she's going nowhere. She's touch tight to the touchline. Just let her get the ball and see what happens. But yeah, unnecessary free kick given away.
Here's Berman, the centre-back, joining the midfield temporarily. Morgan trying to stand up Baltimore. Baltimore continues, can't find the cross though. As Fionn Morgan concedes yet another corner for Chelsea.
Yeah, and going back to your point about Chelsea and their press, they are relentless. When they've got it in their mind, they want to win the ball back, they are relentless, and they come at you with such pace and so many numbers that it really does pile on the pressure. And fair play, West Ham got themselves out of a couple of tricky situations there without any damage being done.
Cuthbert to take the corner for Chelsea. It's a looping one. Bright attacks it. It's kept alive. Cannerid battling for possession. But Asseyi wins that battle. Asseyi manages to get past two, but then runs straight into Lauren James. He won possession back firmly, but fairly, I would say.
She's so strong. I remember seeing Lauren James playing as a 17, maybe even 16-year-old when she was at Arsenal as a kid. She played in a couple of Continental Cup games, and you just couldn't get the ball off her. She uses her body so well. She's so strong, and she's got such a delicate touch that you just don't get near the ball. But here, for me, she gets the ball and she just stands still. She uses her body in a way. I don't think it's a foul. It could be a sore one for Asseyi there, but I don't think it's a foul. I think the referee, I don't think she's given a free kick, to be honest. But yeah, Lauren James, she's just very aware of her surroundings, of her body shape, her body position, and makes it really tough to get the ball off of her.
She got the ball and then put her body in the way of it just to defend it. It's
exactly that.
Just quite a pace, which is clearly injured. Asseyi. Club doctors of West Ham called into action once again. Different kind of injury to that Rico Ueke picked up a few minutes ago. Millie Bright, such a target from set pieces. Yet to score in the WSL though this season, as Millie Bright did score in the League Cup. She seems to be okay. There's Vivian Asseyi. Just needed a moment to compose herself, I think.
Yeah, I mean, she was travelling at some pace, so if somebody stops dead in front of you, it is going to be difficult. You're going to come into some form of contact, so it probably was a sore one for her.
Ran into the Lauren James wall. Hanshaw plays it into the middle. It's a pretty unforgiving place for Shakira Martinez. Immediately surrounded by blue shirts. They'll have possession back at their feet. 18 minutes played. Chelsea 1, West Ham 0. An own goal by the West Ham defender Uendo. The only goal of the game so far. It's been Chelsea, as you'd expect, who've been on the front foot and making everything happen in an attacking sense. Asseyi plays it forward. Shakira Martinez won the header. Endo was their target, but can only return it to the Chelsea back line. Well, they did have a little bit of a wobble in the WSL. Chelsea results didn't quite go their way. The last home win came all the way back on the 1st of November against London City. But they're in pole position at the moment. Nuskin will cut it back to Thompson. Tried to find Cannerid, but it was wayward of her feet.
And for how fast Chelsea started the game, it actually has taken a bit of a lull in terms of their play in the top end of the pitch.
They'll try to change that now with Lauren James onto her left foot, takes a deflection. When West Ham don't sort out their feet, and eventually the goalkeeper Kinga Shemik is forced to send it out the stadium.
Yeah, you thought for a moment that was it, just going to open up. Very good left and right foot, Lauren James. Seen her bend those into the top corner with ease in the pass. A good block on the edge of the box from West Ham.
Plenty of shirts back for West Ham, but Chelsea keep managing to find a way through them at the moment. Nystrom with the clearance there for another Chelsea throw-in. Well, it was Balumu's hesitation here that led to that Chelsea opportunity. James not enough on that pass to Cuthbert, but finds the ball back at her feet. James, it's a wicked cross in, away by Endo. Cuthbert will pick it up. That's smartly done, but Balumu sees to it that Chelsea can't progress any further. Berman hesitant with Martinez, but Chelsea once again are in control of possession as we approach the halfway mark in this first half. Balumu, that's more like it. Some aggressive defending from the West Ham defender. Siren, hardly mentioned her in the first 20 minutes of this game, but she has the ball now. Balumu has joined the attack. She'll slide it through, looking for a save. It was a good idea, but Chelsea's defence equal to it.
Yeah, that was better from West Ham. A couple of passes linking up nicely. Almost thought it was going to go through to a save, but well defended in the end by Chelsea. The first defending of real note that they've had to do. And Hampton probably enjoying a quiet first game back after injury.
Here's Alyssa Thompson, face to face with Eva Nystrom. She gets away from him. It's Thompson who strikes it goalwards, but spins well wide of the target in the end. Well, she did everything right there up until the finish, did Alyssa Thompson.
Yeah, and we've seen her score some wonderful goals already, haven't we, in her short Chelsea career. Player of real talent, loves to cut inside onto that right foot, but just put off at the last with a sliding challenge, I should say, from Endo. Puts her off, does enough to send it over the bar.
Cuthbert, not the best of clearances by Šemić. Canarid in the way. Verena Hanshaw able to come across and just poke it off the toe of Canarid. Carpenter, who made the only goal of the game with her low cross into the 6-yard box, has the ball in her hands. And she'll go again with another throw-in. Opting for the blue headband today, Ellie Carpenter. As Canarid concedes a free kick. She disagrees with the referee, Pearson.
Yeah, well defended by Balumu. Just gets her body in there, wins a foul. Takes a little bit of pressure off her team for a moment.
And it is literally only a moment because Chelsea have the ball back once again. There's Thompson. Comes deep this time. Every time she gets the ball, comes deep, plays it to a teammate. She then immediately runs forward to try and stretch the West Ham back line. Girma plays it forward to Ellie Carpenter, who is forced inside and dispossessed by Balumu. Now Martinez. Chance here for West Ham. They've not had any kind of attacking threat so far in this first half. And they continue not to. Baltimore, as the crowd try to encourage Chelsea forward. Thompson. Morgan comes over. Baltimore tries to return it to Thompson. She'll get it back though, will Sandy Baltimore. On her own at the moment. Luskin's in support. Here she is now. Heavy touch. Didn't know that Martinez was there. Given away once again. A lot of loose passes at the moment.
Yeah, the quality's taken a bit of a dip. You know, West Ham had half a chance there. Shakira Martinez just looking for some support. Had nobody around her, ends up giving the ball away, and then Chelsea up the other end can't make it count on the counter-attack. And just, yeah, loose passes, not finding their target.
That's cleverly done in the middle by Ueki. Sends it forward for Martinez, but it's always going to be a challenge for Martinez to keep that one in. Obviously, both sets of players have had a a few weeks off, and this game at the moment does have a little bit of a pre-season feeling to it, I would say.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like anyone's really quite got going. We thought, well, I thought certainly after that opening goal that we were in for maybe a bit of a treat in terms of goal-mouth action, but hasn't quite turned out that way, and players looking touch rusty. You know, they've had a well-earned break. Some have been abroad and on holidays and what have you, taking their rest and recovery, but is it taking a little bit of time to just get back into the flow and the rhythm of playing competitive football again?
It does feel that way, as West Ham are given a free kick. Referee Stacey Pearson took her time making that decision. West Ham will have a free kick just inside their own half. Verena Hanshaw, the player to take it. Looks like she's going to go direct, looks reluctant to. No one in West Ham colours really asking for the ball. It's an easy header at the back, though, for Millie Bright, and that's why Hanshaw didn't want to play it long, because Chelsea have got the aerial dominance at the back.
Yeah, it's a real sort of catch-22. Do you play short and risk being pressed and losing the ball in dangerous areas, or do you go long and relinquish possession altogether? You know, it's a tough one to manage.
Here comes Millie Bright, Chelsea captain, encouraged forward by the supporters here at Kingsmeadow. Carpenter, strong challenge thrown in. It'll be a Chelsea throw-in, though, despite the tackle of Siren. Here's Cannerid, bounces between her legs. Say Balumu inside. Martinez told to hold by the coaching staff. She tried, but she couldn't. Vila Berman, Baltimore. Bright, that's a good ball. Cannerid tries to find James, but can't. Now Nuskin. Well, that ball I think was meant for Cannerid, but it comes all the way through to Balumu. Oh, and it's a disaster at the back. Lauren James gets the second Chelsea goal, but Kinga Shemik, the West Ham United goalkeeper, took too long, took too much time, and her clearance fires in off the boot of Lauren James. Her first goal of 2026, and it gives Chelsea a 2-goal lead here at Kingsmeadow.
Yeah, she almost looks a little bit embarrassed to have that goal to her name, but as you said, Shemik just takes too long. It's credit to the work rate of Lauren James. She doesn't give it up. She can sense an opportunity. It's not a bad first touch. It's just too long between the touch and the clearance. You've got to go first time when you're under pressure like that, and Lauren James follows it in, and it goes into the back of the net. But it kind of sums up the game so far, that the lack of quality. The 2 goals we have seen have shown exactly that. And from a West Ham perspective, that's not great for them.
Oh, Kinga Shemik played in every single WSL game last season, only missed a couple of this campaign. But Kinga Shemik at fault for the second Chelsea goal, as the goal scorer Lauren James has to leave the pitch momentarily, not quite sure why. Referee Stacey Pearson putting to her watch, saying there we are, just pausing time here for a moment. Hopefully we'll find out more about why she's disappeared in a moment or two.
I think it might something to do with her shin pads, perhaps. I mean, if you can call them shin pads, what players wear these days, they're so tiny you can hardly see them.
Shin credit cards, I would say. Absolutely tiny nowadays. Chelsea in control despite not being at their absolute best, but they're looking for more here. Carpenter, Cannerid, Hanshaw onto her tight on that first touch. That's how you stop her. James hooks one in. It's a great ball. There's the header. Nuskin snuck into the 6-yard box from midfield, which gives James the thumbs up, because that was an excellent ball in. Just couldn't direct a header on target.
Yeah, and again, Lauren James showing how well she can use both feet. That was a delightful ball in with her left foot. Just curling away, just ever so slightly too high for Nusken to really get the direction on it, but a good run from midfield. And when you're playing against a team that is packing out that middle of the park, that's where you need the late runs from the midfield, the Nuskens, the Cuthberts coming in off the wing from the likes of Thompson and Cannerid. But yeah, a good move there, just didn't quite get enough on the header.
Appreciated the ball in from James. It's an assist to go with her goal. Well, Lauren James, it's not only her first goal of 2026, but it's her first goal of the WSL this season. First goal since picking up that ankle injury in the Euros. I don't think she'll have an easier one all season. Here's Erin Cuthbert. Chelsea looking for another. Carpenter, lots of options in the middle. Well, they don't deal with it, West Ham. It wasn't the best of clearances by Balumu. Now James. Bright, every outfield player in the West Ham half. Baltimore, Thompson. Back to Baltimore. Faced with Morgan. Can't get a cross in. Now, Naomi Girma. 14 minutes to go until half-time. Champions Chelsea in control of this one. Manchester City, incidentally, are winning against Everton. Oh, here's Cannerid on the edge of the penalty area. Strikes the crossbar. What a hit from Joanna Cannerid. Well, it had Shemmick grasping it thin air.
Yeah, as soon as that came to her, you felt that it was going to open up for a shot. She hits it absolutely superbly. I don't know if Shemmick got a slight touch on it. I see a replay now. Loose pass again from West Ham. Turns on the ball. There's maybe a slight fingertip there from Shemmick. Yeah, she tips it onto the bar. That's a great save. She'll be pleased with that after the mishap for the second Chelsea goal. But another sign there that when Chelsea want to, they've got the ability to hit efforts like that. But it was, again, comes from a loose pass from West Ham. They're really playing themselves into trouble at times this afternoon.
Baltimore will take this free kick for Chelsea. Plenty on it. Shemmick's there. Thompson is as well. Endo is there to pick up the loose ball. This touch comes off James. That will be a goal kick, but Shemmick on a couple of occasions there, called into action and doing her duty well. And like you say, she'll still be thinking of that error that led to the second Chelsea goal. That's what you want to see as a West Ham defender.
Yeah, and as a goalkeeper, you're under pressure all the time. Every mistake you make is likely to lead to a chance or a goal. So you have to respond to adversity and just believe in yourself, back yourself, and she did that there. She's got two good hands on the punch. Didn't quite clear it from complete danger, but did enough.
Well, she is now closed down by Cannerid. West Ham playing with fire at the back. Away by Nystrom. That's a clever touch by Ueki. Martinez. Well, Morgan made the movement, but Martinez played it well too far ahead of her. That's a trip. That'll be a West Ham free kick in the centre circle. Cannerid just trying to use her body to win the ball there, but only took the player. Asai looking for Balumu on the overlap. Girma away. James, the Chelsea press. Continuous and never-ending.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that from Lauren James, which is good to see. We know the quality she's got in possession. Seeing her work hard for her team, trying to regain possession. Didn't quite come off for her that time, loses the ball off the side of the pitch, but working really hard in that sort of false number 9 role for her, and started trying to get her team back on the front foot every time they're out of possession.
Strong tackle by Millie Bright, and to throw in right in front of her manager. She's got some record as Chelsea boss. There's Sonia Bonpastor. 58 Chelsea games in the dugout before today. Only beaten 4 times, would you believe? It's another free kick for West Ham. There's a yellow card as well for Erin Cuthbert. First one of the afternoon goes the way of the Chelsea midfielder.
Just a late tackle in there. I say he was looking to get her team on the move in an attacking sense. Drifts through. It's actually, I don't think it was Erin Cuthbert that made the foul. So she's picked up the yellow card. That's a bit unfortunate. I think Lauren James gives her a little trip and she falls into Erin Cuthbert there. But yeah, good play, good strong play from Vivian Assayi.
Assayi caught in the sandwich, really, of James and Cuthbert. It's a clever free kick, but it's just too hard. And Hampton will collect, and I think that'll probably go down as their first save, if you can call it that. Here's Baltimore, shakes off a West Ham defender and progresses down the left. Thompson's there, driving at the heart of West Ham. Alyssa Thompson, she's got pace, but not enough to stop that from going out.
Yeah, Baltimore again showing that strength and class on the ball, able to hold off the defender, just rolls it down the line to Alyssa Thompson, who, again, that direct running style I really enjoy watching. Just overcooked it at the end.
36 minutes played. Chelsea 2, West Ham 0. Chelsea have been the better side. I don't really think they've got out of second gear yet, in all honesty.
No, and actually I should imagine Sonia Bonpastor is not overly pleased with the quality of their play so far, Chelsea, but sometimes it is difficult when a team sets up like West Ham and the game becomes a bit scrappy and nobody's really showing any real quality on the ball. You can sort of drop your standards a little bit, and I feel that's what's perhaps happened for Chelsea this afternoon.
Cuthbert to Thompson. Chelsea looking for more before the break. Cuthbert waits on the edge, but it's easily cut out by Una Siren. Now Martinez. Perhaps an opportunity for West Ham to come forward. Balumu looking for the movement in front of her of Assayi, but Girima very much in control. It's kept in by Balumu. Needs movement in front of her, but she'll take the throw in.
Yeah, she did really well there, Balumu, keeping that in and keeping possession for her team. They're working hard, West Ham, they really are. But they just haven't quite got that quality in possession of the football to cause Chelsea problems at the moment.
Well, I'm not quite sure how long it takes for a new manager to get a grasp of her players and her style to move from the training ground to Sunday afternoons.
Yeah, and coming in at the time she did, a lot of the players would have been off on their Christmas breaks, probably didn't come back into the training ground until after the new year. And then you've got, what, a week or so with the team on the grass. It's not long, really, especially a team that's coming out of a difficult sort of run of form in the first half of the season. You know, old habits die hard, don't they? And to try and integrate any type of new style of play, formations, tactics, whatever it might be. And I think the fact that we're seeing a very similar lineup to what we've seen already from West Ham is that it's going to take time for her to implement that. And whether we see more changes as we go on in her time as head coach, I don't know, but it's not easy to come in mid-season.
Well, she has got some pedigree, has Rita Guarino. Won 4 Serie A titles during her time at Juventus from 2018 through to 2021. With the last few years at Inter Milan, it's not a bad CV at all.
I think also the opposition that they're facing as well. There's not much opportunity to get an in-possession style of play out in a game like this.
Here come West Ham. A rare foray forward. Blue shirts flooding back though. Siren is it behind Balumu. That'll frustrate the new manager, Rita Guarino. As will that. Lauren James onto that loose pass. And now Joanna Cannerid. Plenty of space here at Kings Meadow for Cannerid to run into. She finds Carpenter, who's got the pace. She cuts it back for Cannerid. It's miscued, but there is Alyssa Thompson to make it Chelsea 3, West Ham 0. 5 minutes to go until half-time, and the champions are starting 2026 in some form. 3-0 now.
Yeah, and that was a goal of quality there. It comes again from West Ham giving the ball away in the middle of the pitch. But Lauren James gets it nonchalantly, just waits for exactly the right time, flicks it between the two West Ham players. Rettin Kennerid drives down towards the box, waits for that support, and Ellie Carpenter, that pace, she comes from absolutely nowhere, shows good composure. Kay Kennerid miscues her shot, but ends up being a nice little assist. And Alyssa Thompson doing what all good forwards do, and finding themselves in and around the 6-yard box for an easy tap-in, and she's delighted with that.
Alyssa Thompson, the 21-year-old, with her 4th WSL goal since joining last year. From just a few yards out, all the Chelsea goals have come from inside the 6-yard box.
It's the best place to be. I spent my whole career in the 6-yard box.
I would have had you down to score all 3 of those goals as well, to be honest.
Thank you very much.
A few minutes to go until half-time. Chelsea in control. Here's James. Played their part in the first and the third, as well as scoring the second. The pace there, though, from Ellie Carpenter. You said she came from nowhere. She really did. I thought the pass was completely misplaced initially. Yeah,
I thought Kennerid was trying to go on the outside her own and sort of get herself on the end of the ball, but she obviously knows her teammate and the ability and the pace that she has. Absolutely steamrolled down that right-hand side. That's been a real trademark of her game. And yeah, her goal involvements just keep going up. I know she doesn't get the assist there, but if she doesn't make that run, that goal doesn't happen.
The Australian playing her part. It's a loose pass again from West Ham. It's Cuthbert. Struck it well, but didn't strike it accurately enough. She's frustrated with herself, Erin Cuthbert.
Yeah, she knows that she can hit a better ball than that. Just leans back and sort of slices through it. With her ability to hit shots from distance, she'd want to hit the target.
A first 45 to forget for Rita Guarino, the new West Ham boss. Here's Endo, scored that own goal inside the first minute of the game. Sees it to Baltimore. Oh, that's a risky pass back. Kennerid's not giving up on it. Eastrom had to use her body and hope that Shemmick came out to get it, which she did. There's Girma. Not accurate enough for Kennerid. Spurs 1-0 up at home to Leicester. Well, Helen, you talked about the standard that Chelsea are coming up against today. The next fixture, they've got Crystal Palace in the FA Cup, but then they've got Manchester City in the semi-final of the League Cup, and then Arsenal in the WSL. Here's Baltimore looking for a 4th, which she finds with style. Sandy Baltimore with an absolute bullet into the top corner. It's 2-2 for Sandy in the WSL.
That was an absolute rocket. Drives at the heart of the West Ham defence. Nobody coming to close her down. And her eyes light up, edge of the box, absolutely bullets that into the top corner. Shemmick absolutely no chance in the West Ham goal. And there we go, that's the quality that we know that they possess. It was almost too easy for her, wasn't it? But that finish was something else.
A wonderful strike from Sandy Baltimore. Scored in the final WSL game of 2025 in the 3-0 win against Brighton. And now she scored in the first WSL game of 2026. Martinez tries to slide it through to the overlapping Vivian Asseyi, but Girma was there with a well-timed interception and it had to be made.
Yeah, and I think Martinez and Asseyi have definitely been the focal points of attacks for West Ham when they've had those few opportunities. Shown the only real quality this afternoon, and almost linking up. That's a run that Asseyi likes to make from out to in. Girma so far has been able to snuff out the danger.
6 minutes of injury time added on at the end of this first half. Asseyi's injury, part of the reason for that. Rico Uweki picked one up before her as well. Oh, that's missed. Uweki. Girma comes across though. 3 centre-backs there for Chelsea. There's always going to be someone to pick up the loose ball.
Yeah, it's really tough in those isolated forward positions for West Ham to find any sort of space.
Shot comes in from Martinez. I think it was Girma who had struck in the middle of that Chelsea huddle. West Ham trying to get on this on the score sheet before the half-time whistle blows. Asseyi finds the gap, but can't find Balumu. Cuthbert, I don't think she wanted that, as Asseyi has hold of her left arm and takes her down to the turf. Free kick for Chelsea.
Really good play from Erin Cuthbert. Other players would have been brushed aside, but she's so strong. Just seeing another shot of that Sunday Baltimore effort. Nothing that Shemik can do about that one. A fantastic strike from the Frenchwoman.
Here's Thompson. Baltimore. Nuskin. Thompson. Chelsea in their groove now. Baltimore slowed down by Una Siren. And you can see possession immediately. Thompson, Nuskin. Thompson back on the overlap. There's the cross as well. Cuthbert on the edge, but Uweki uses her strength to wriggle away from the Chelsea midfielder. Girma out-muscled. Now Vivian Asseyi. Martinez in front of her. And now Una Siren. West Ham with confidence here. Have they got a finish? It's Martinez! Saved by Hampton. She was at full stretch there, was the England goalkeeper, but Shakira Martinez scored twice here last season. The closest of any West Ham player so far in this first half.
Yeah, good effort. A nice counter-attack from West Ham. Siren driving in there, drawing a crowd of Chelsea players. Finds Shakira Martinez. Has a decent touch, just trying to bend it into that far corner. Fairly comfortable save from Hannah Hampton, but a save she still had to make.
West Ham United corner. Can they get back into this game just before half-time? Still a mountain to climb if they do, but can they reduce the deficit? Oh, Hampton on the line. It's scruffy, and there's a foul in the middle there. It'll be a Chelsea free kick. Well, there's no one complaining in West Ham colours, so it's usually a sign that the referee made the right call.
Yeah, an excellent delivery from the West Ham right. I don't know where there was necessarily a foul there, but Hannah Hampton does well to clear it off of her own goal line. Gets a decision from the referee, but a wicked delivery from the corner.
It's the season of corners, 2025-26.
Yeah, West Ham don't do too badly from set pieces either. I think they've scored five set piece goals this season, so it's obviously a big part of their game. Something that's crept into football again, as you said. Big focus point for a number of teams now, set pieces.
Where would you go when you had a corner? Back post, front post, lurk on the edge of the box?
Probably somewhere in and around the goalkeeper, waiting for it to drop down in that 6-yard box again.
Standing on the toes of the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Just over a minute to go, or 2 minutes to go, I should say. Oh, and it's lost by Girma to Asseyi, who spotted Hampton out of position. Didn't execute the strike as well as she
I think her eyes lit up, just thinking a little chip, which would have been the right option, just couldn't quite execute it.
They may be 4-0 down, but like you say, they have had a few moments where they've shone in attacking areas. Chelsea are 4-0 up. Baltimore, always happy to carry the ball. Slowed down by Morgan. Nuskin. Lofts one in. Lauren James unmarked. Completely misjudges the header. She had so much space there. The inquest continues in the West Ham back line, but Lauren James should be frustrated with how she finished that one.
Yeah, I wonder if she could have just backed up another step and taken it on her chest. You know, the quality she's got and the time and space she had. Maybe didn't realise that she was all on her own there. I think she was maybe trying to find a teammate rather than score a goal, but yeah, that's an opportunity missed for Chelsea.
Carpenter pressing high and winning possession back. Across comes Gorry though, and the last touch actually came off Carpenter. That'll be a goal kick.
I think for Rita Guarino that there will be positives. As you said, they've had a couple of half moments where you thought something good could come of it, but I think it's almost disappointing, but it's also something that you can work on, where the goals for the most part have come from individual mistakes, and if you cut those out, all of a sudden it doesn't look like such a terrible performance.
Thompson looking dangerous again. Oh, it's a great save by Kinga Shemik, flying through the air. The West Ham goalkeeper tips it over the crossbar to deny Alyssa Thompson her second goal. That's some save. That's
a really good save. That's the second top save that we've seen her make. You know, and for a goalkeeper, it's so frustrating. She's had that goal go in where she's cleared it against Lauren James, but she's made two wonderful saves since then, and that is the life of a goalkeeper, unfortunately.
Baltimore to take the corner. Lots of whip on it. Headed away. Cannerid was waiting, but was beaten to it by Sirin. As the referee, Stacey Pearson, blows a whistle and brings an end to the first half here at Kings Meadow, where Chelsea are in control. 4 goals, the first inside a minute, an own goal. Lauren James, Alyssa Thompson and Sandy Baltimore with the strikes, which means at the break here at Kings Meadow, it's Chelsea 4, West Ham United 0. Well, there was a delay to kick off for one reason or another, which the West Ham players are just asking the question of Stacey Pearson why this is the case. As they try to stay as warm as possible. Well, there's a change being made on the bench, and it looks as if it's going to be a debut. Estelle Cascarino is waiting, while Rita Guarino looks confused about the situation over Estelle Cascarino. And she's got her ear taped up, which would suggest she's got an earring in there. I'm not sure if she's being recommended by the fourth official to take her earring out. But usually players can play with the ear covered in tape. Well, she's not able to come on just yet, and I don't think I've seen that before in the WSL, where an earring is the reason for a player not being able to come on.
I can't tell what Cascarino's trying to say, but she's suggesting that either she can't take it out, or it's very frustrating. And you know, for the women's game, it's an unnecessary sort of hold up and just doesn't quite reflect so well on it. But everybody looks as confused as everybody else.
And a bizarre start to the second half. So does that mean that West Ham are going to start with a player less in this second half?
It looks like they might, to be honest, yeah. Because she's still not on the pitch. Yeah,
10 players to start the second half for West Ham United. How often do you see that in any game of football? Bizarre start here at Kings Meadow. It's a slip at the back once again by the goalkeeper. And a giveaway to James. West Ham all over the place. Cannerid is there. And it's poked away by Nystrom. An absolutely bonkers first 30 seconds here at Kings Meadow.
And the second half almost starting exactly the same way that the first half did there, with Chelsea coming close to a goal inside the first minute again.
And there's changes made across the board. Cuthbert off for Chelsea, Chicky on for West Ham. Vika Kaptein is on in place of Cuthbert, who did have a yellow card in that first half. Here is Captain, dancing her way through the midfield. She had her toe trodden on, and that will be a free kick for Chelsea, 15 yards outside of the penalty area. And this will be why, just a slight touch on the toe by Chiki.
Yeah, tried to stay on her feet, didn't she? But that little trip there, just knocking her off balance.
Well, Balumu has just emerged. And she is the player who was taken off, but is now going to continue in the second half. Incredibly bizarre here at Kingsmeadow as Chelsea sending the free kick. Bright will go up for the ball, but it'll fall the way of Siren. And West Ham can only knock it out for a throw-in. They need to get their act together tactically and players-wise as well.
I've never seen anything like it, and presumably as the substitution hasn't officially taken place, then that's been allowed to happen by the fourth official. And I'm only surprised that Balumu wasn't in the shower, to be quite honest with you, having been taken off at half-time.
Here's Captain. Can Chelsea make the most of the confusion here? Berman goes direct, looking for James, who puts it onto the roof of the net. The offside flag was raised against Lauren James either way.
And she's probably quite relieved that the offside flag went up, because I think a player of her quality should be doing better there. Lovely, delicate chip from Berman. Lauren James finding all the space in the world, perhaps shouldn't have been offside. She lifts it onto the roof of the net, nevertheless.
She will be frustrated with that, won't she?
Yeah, definitely.
Not her finest moment. Well, I'll be intrigued to see if we do actually get a chance to see Estelle Cascarino. I don't know if the jewellery rules are different in Italian football than they are in the WSL.
Well, like you say, when something's taped up like that, usually it's enough and it's not picked up by the officials as being a problem, but something obviously not sitting right with that fourth official and her officiating team. And they've not allowed her on the pitch as yet.
Because you more commonly see a ring with some tape around it. As we take a look at the West Ham United bench, Cascarino is in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, and if she is being asked to take it out, how long does it take to take an earring out? I don't understand what can possibly be going on with that one.
I'm sure we'll find out afterwards what's going on, but football always manages to find a way to surprise you. 4-0 the score to Chelsea here, as West Ham look to go direct. Ueke makes the movement, but Bright can just see it behind for a goal kick. Well, Chelsea won 4-0 at West Ham back in September. They went 3-0 up inside 14 minutes in the game there. And they've got the majority of the second half to increase it. And given how they've started this second half, you'd expect to be looking to find at least a fifth.
Yeah, and they almost had it in the opening minute once again, didn't they? They couldn't quite capitalise on a series of blunders by the West Ham back line.
One ball forward, read by Hanshaw. It's been an equaliser in the Midlands, one apiece now between Villa and Brighton and Hove Albion. No Aggie Beever-Jones, incidentally, for Chelsea today. She'll be back next weekend for the Cup game as James storms forward. Carpenter. James has to drag herself up. And there's Cannerid. Carpenter having a shirt pulled by Chiki over on the far side. Now Bright slides it through. And now James palmed away once again by the goalkeeper Shemik. She had to make a handful of saves in that one. She did well to get her body behind.
Yeah, for the most part, she's had a really good game. Millie Bright linking up well with Cannerid, who's been involved in a lot of good things for Chelsea on the right-hand side. Nice pass back to Lauren James. Just doesn't get enough bend or whip on that. Some nice height for the goalkeeper, but again, a save she has to make.
Lauren James will take this corner for Chelsea. Lots of whip on it. Oh, into the near post. Thought for a moment there, Nuskin at the near post was just going to glance that goalwards.
I think she should have, you know. It looked there for her to just flick that into the near post, but didn't quite time it right.
Yet to score in the WSL this season is Shirka Nuskin. Baltimore, wonderful touch. Thompson's there to support her. Baltimore. Back to the German, Nuskin. Only played 106 minutes in the WSL in the first half of the season. That ball's over the top of Sandy Baltimore. Aston Villa 2-1 up now against Brighton and Hove Albion. Chelsea do have Sam Kerr on the bench. They wanted to bring on another attacking force. Here's Shemek. The ooze continue for her when she receives the ball in her 6-yard box after that second Chelsea goal. Here's Chiki. Has movement ahead of her. Balumu, the player, making that movement. As Cascarino watches on. Stripped and ready to go. Albeit for that earring, which is still getting attention, it would seem. I don't know whether it's some kind of permanent earring. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I mean, as a footballer, it would be a wild thing to do to get something permanently, but who knows?
How bizarre. Here come West Ham. It's not a bad ball around the corner. Morgan cuts it back for the incoming Vivian Asahi. Ueki was there in support, but I think Asahi just completely missed the ball to play it towards Ueki.
And those are the moments as West Ham, you've got to make them count.
That's a good touch by Ueki. Very clever. Numbers in the way, though, for Chelsea. Asahi, but Millie Bright onto it and wins the free kick. She didn't like that, Millie Bright. Little push in the back for Asahi afterwards as well.
Yeah, she wasn't happy with that one, suggesting there's been a few fouls. I don't think Asahi's been particularly a problem in terms of fouling the Chelsea players, but Millie Bright wasn't happy with it at all.
Captain allowed to argue her point, of course, with the armband. Here's Hannah Hampton. Martinez doing the closing down. She's had the only effort on target so far for West Ham. Here's Lauren James showing off her great strength again. Oh, now Bright's caught out of position. Maybe West Ham have a chance to get back into this game. It's Asahi, Bright's in the way. And there to volley it away. Actually find Baltimore, who again traps the ball wonderfully. Thompson. To Baltimore, pointing where she wants her movement. Morgan trying her best to dispossess Baltimore, but just can't find a way around the Chelsea winger.
Yeah, she's so adept at keeping the ball when she wants to, not allowing anybody to get near it.
Can't find a way beyond Fionn Morgan there, who's playing in a more unnatural position of wing-back, or full-back.
Yeah, she's got all the attributes, to be honest. Fionn Morgan, loads of pace, loves to get up and support, but works hard defensively as well.
Yet to score for the club since making the move from Bristol City last year. As Millie Bright leans into Vivian Asahi, that's becoming a battle down the West Ham attack as Bright plays that against the feet of Martinez, and it'll be a goal kick for Chelsea.
And covered well there, Millie Bright. Just looking at Cascarino again on the bench. Looks like the earrings come out. Can't see any.
I think it's on the bit of cartilage in the middle of the ear.
Certainly the plaster's come off. So does that mean she can't play at all today? It's really, really baffled me, that situation.
I think the law is, if there's an accessory which can cause harm to the opposition, then it must be removed or covered. But I don't see how a tiny little earring, especially in the inner ear, can cause damage to the opposition.
And it was covered.
Very bizarre. The officials extremely cautious here at Kings Meadow. It's been a slow start to the second half, though, here at Kings Meadow. 4-0 the score. Chelsea in command. Carpenter making the overlapping run, but unable to find the ball. Thompson, look over her shoulder to see where the space is. She moves into it. Support on the right. Joanna Cannerid doesn't want to just chuck it in there. Nuskin back to Cannerid. It's a great pass. It's great football, but in the way. Here's the big defender, Eva Nyström. And that'll be the corner for Chelsea.
She's been good today. Cannerid been involved in a lot of good things from Chelsea. Working well with Ellie Carpenter. It's a really formidable right-hand side, and when Lauren James drifts over there as well, real point of attack for Chelsea.
Corner for Chelsea. To loop in one. Ueki is up. James is there with the volley. Volleys it against Millie Bright. West Ham half clear it. Cannerid. All on her own. She's got Berman in support behind her, but finds James instead, who tries to return it. Can't. As the last touch comes off Hanshaw, and that'll be another Chelsea throw-in.
Sometimes I think Lauren James is just a little bit too relaxed, a little bit too lax on her passing. Gets picked up by the opposition, but when she gets it right, there's not many better.
Chelsea, incidentally, looking to extend their great record against West Ham United, unbeaten in 15 previous WSL games against the Hammers. Winning 13 of those 15. The most unbeaten games against another opposition in the WSL. Chelsea against West Ham. As the Hammers have another injury issue here. They had a couple in the first half. Well, it's Bellamu, who was meant to be off at half-time, who's down now. She might have to go off now. Kick at the ankle. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, I think she'll be okay. It's just a little kick, as you said. Didn't look to be any sort of twisting motion, so fingers crossed it's an impact injury that, yes, they can be sore, but tend to not do too much long-term damage. Might be painful when she gets home later this evening. As the club doctors are out again to take a look. Well, Chelsea have been good, but I wouldn't say they've been very good. I know they're winning 4-0, and that might be a bizarre thing to say, but we know they can play a lot better than they are. Yeah, I agree. I think they have benefited hugely and taken advantage of, to their credit, some really lax play from West Ham. But I think in terms of the way they link up as a team, the fluidity, it's not been as free-flowing as we have seen in the past from Chelsea teams. And I think that's maybe been a characteristic of the season as a whole for Chelsea, and maybe why they find themselves a little bit adrift of Manchester City. And there's a hat-trick of changes coming for Chelsea on the hour mark. Alyssa Thompson, the first to come off. Another impressive performance from Alyssa Thompson. Got her goal, which is what she would have wanted most today. Nuskin also off, and Lauren James coming off as well. Lexi Potter gets an opportunity to shine, as does Guro Wrighton. Hat-trick of changes from the Chelsea manager, who I think in this position of the 4-0 lead is happy to just rotate her squad a little bit and give minutes out to players that will be banging on the door to be in the starting lineup.
Well, the best of passes by Cannerid out to Carpenter, who's in a tussle with Martinez and wrestled to the ground. The West Ham forward. Here's Berman. Chelsea looking for a fifth. Manchester City with that significant goal difference, remember. Baltimore's cross in. Easy save for Šemić. Games like this one, isn't it, where they need to make up that significant goal difference deficit.
Yeah, 100%. I mentioned it earlier, the season they turned it around with a massive home win against Bristol City. Ultimately ended up winning them the title. And you feel if they don't add to the 4 they've already got, they'll see that as a real missed opportunity.
Foul there by Nearly Bright. Her battle with Vivian Asseyi continues. Well, that looked like a foul. Screams for it on Asseyi once again. When it's conceded there, in a dangerous position. It's Martinez onto her right foot. It's a strong tackle by Berman. And Chelsea are able to get bodies in the way and clear it away. Strong tackle that.
Yeah, risk there of giving away a penalty, I feel, for Chelsea. Not too many complaints from West Ham, so I think she did get the ball, but a risky one there.
Incidentally, Lexi Potter is one of the 3 changes to have come on just a few minutes ago for Chelsea, making her club debut. Spent time at Crystal Palace over the last couple of seasons as the England Youth International. An opportunity to show Sonia Bonpastor what she's made of. Here's Wrighton. Tries the low cross, but in the way is Endo. Well, here's the block made. Brilliant tackle. And perfectly timed by Berman.
Yeah, wonderful challenge. Just on the edge of the box, has to get it right, and absolutely did.
As Carpenter gets the ball stuck under her feet, but is still able to find a teammate. As Captain. Takes a touch off a West Ham defender, and that will be a corner for Chelsea once again. They've had plenty in this game, but yet to score direct from one.
Yeah, there have been some decent deliveries but I think West Ham and Šemić in their goal have done well to hold them off so far.
Stay tight! Stay tight!
Baltimore to take the corner once again for Chelsea. Had lots of them. Oh, and it's a free header at the back. It's completely misjudged by Cannerid. Wrighton will recycle it. Baltimore onside. All the blue shirts that came forward have remained forward.
Go, 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 go!
Now the support arrives. Carpenter, plenty of whip on that. The header isn't directed goalwards though, and West Ham find the ball at their feet, only to concede it once again. Oh, and a save just about, and off the line through the legs of Oweki this time. In fact, it took a touch off the defender, but it was comical in the 6-yard box almost from West Ham.
Yeah, falling over themselves to try and clear the ball, but not actually managing to get a good touch on it. If Cannerid, Captain, was being a bit too unselfish there. Could she have gone for goal? Tried to set Sam Kerr up and scrambled away by West Ham.
Corner comes into the near post, strikes Potter. Just hit her in the face by the looks of things. Baltimore again, more depth on it this time. Bright goes up. And it's Martinez who's there for the loose ball. Had to be a West Ham player, otherwise Chelsea would have had a free attempt at goal. "24 minutes to go until full time, as Potter is caught out, but Captain Bright helps her out. Baltimore keeps hold. The league leaders 2-0 up now against Everton. Manchester City, the side to catch in the WSL this season. Chicky, the substitute, does well to read the ball there. Asai tries to spread the play, but Hannah Hampton reads the pass and intercepts the pass. Caught a heel accidentally, but she's very much in control of the situation, is Hannah Hampton. Well, in her first game as West Ham manager, in the first 67 minutes of this game, she's had a lot to learn as Rita Guarino. And it could get worse here as Sam Kerr runs in behind and ends the corner. Endo thought she was clipped, but the referee, Stacey Pearson, in no mood to change her mind.
Yeah, really determined defending there from Endo, under severe pressure. I don't know, you've seen them given as fouls. Looks like she was maybe looking for it. Sam Kerr doesn't really make too much of a play for her or the ball, so the corner's probably just about the right decision.
Corner on the opposite side now for Chelsea, Wrighton to take. Oh, and it's flashed across the face of goal. Cannerid was there with the drive, as is Carpenter. But the referee points to the spot. Handball the decision, and a penalty for Chelsea. West Ham players look confused. Asai looks like the guilty party, but the referee, Stacey Pearson, indicates that she moved her arms towards the ball, and that's why Chelsea have a chance from 12 yards.
Yeah, a really interesting one that. We're just going to see the replay now. It looked all the while to be a fantastic block from Asai. Oh, I think that's quite harsh. There didn't seem to be many complaints from Chelsea either, which is often telling. Can't see anything from that angle, but it's not like her arms were way out of her body, so it feels a harsh decision, that one, but she's given it. It is a penalty to Chelsea.
Well, Sandy Baltimore to take the penalty to make it 5-0 to Chelsea, which she does with ease. Sandy Baltimore, she's been excellent all afternoon, and Chelsea hit the milestone. 5-0 the score now at Kingsmeadow.
Never any doubt on that one, the way she hit the ball earlier. Full of confidence, Sandy Baltimore, and sends Shemek the wrong way. Calmly places it into that bottom corner.
Shemek moved very early, and Baltimore had the easy action of just placing it the opposite direction, but the West Ham goalkeeper dived. Chelsea 5, West Ham 0. Some scoreline to start 2026. And there's still 20 minutes to go. Baltimore holds off Endo, just about. And holds off Morgan as well, who thought that was out.
I think it was close, but I don't think the whole ball went out, to be quite honest. Baltimore, I think, for me, has been one of the standout players for Chelsea this afternoon. Really done well, very rarely gives the ball away. And of course, has her 2 goals as well.
Well, first, an absolute belter, probably the goal of the afternoon. It's a completely miscued clearance at the back by Eva Nystrom. And despite having a new manager, West Ham clearly have so many issues. Well, there's a better angle of why the penalty was given them. She's brought her arms up to block her stomach, hasn't she? And is it in a natural position?
It's really difficult to say what's natural, what's unnatural. I can understand if her arms are away from her body.
In comes the corner. There's Baltimore looking for the hat-trick. Siren is in the way. Wrighton, not a bad cross at all. Bright gets ahead on it, but can't get high enough to direct it back into the middle.
How I see it is she hasn't gained an advantage by it hitting her hands. If it doesn't hit her arms, it goes into her body, which for me, I think it's a harsh penalty. If I'm honest, I'll be disappointed. And as I said, I don't think there were many claims from the Chelsea players themselves about it being handball. And that's often quite a telltale sign if a decision's gone the right way or not. But it's been given, it's been scored, and you know, that's probably the least of West Ham's worries this afternoon in terms of how the game has gone and the goals they've conceded. I think there's a few more things to be concerned about before that.
Well, Rita Guarino will have learnt a lot about her side today, a lot about the WSL, especially the substitution protocol and the jewellery protocol. Here's Carpenter, one of the standouts today for Chelsea. Wrighton. Canarid's making a movement in behind, but she can't get there.
I think the jewellery issue is probably the most frustrating of them all, because it seems something that's so avoidable and so unnecessary. Presumably it's not a new piercing, and Cascarino has played in Italy and in France with something similar and been able to cover it up, so I don't know why the rulings here might be different or viewed differently, but the fact that she hasn't come on yet suggests she's probably not going to be able to make her debut this afternoon, which is crazy. Well,
she was announced on Thursday. Surely she wouldn't have got a new piercing before since then.
Celebrate the big move? I don't know.
Celebratory piercing maybe for Estelle Cascarino. It's a heavy touch by Martinez. Kerr onto Wrighton. Are those piercings more difficult to take out in that part of the ear? I'm not quite sure. There's Carpenter. Looks for Wrighton. Down the line, or Captain, I should say. From a defender's point of view, what do the likes of Berman, Brighton, Guillemot learn from this? Because they've not been put to the test, really, have they? No, they haven't. I think Guillemot's had to... Oh, here's a chance for Chelsea now to make it 6. It's Kerr, but she's offside. Yeah, I think Guillemot's had to track a couple of runs from Asseyi once or twice, which she's done well, but I guess it's more about just seeing the game, making sure you're balanced and not leaving any spaces for any counter-attacks. But yeah, they haven't been hugely tested, have they, other than 1 or 2 challenges. It's about getting minutes into legs, particularly for the likes of Guillemot and Berman, who haven't, and to be fair, even Millie Bright hasn't been a nailed-on player this season for Chelsea, so it's just getting minutes under their belt in the WSL ahead of a busy 2026. Here is Bright now, who takes command of the situation. Now Canarid. And now young Lexi Potter with space in the centre circle. Saw the movement of Kerr. Tried the Hollywood pass, but easily read by Nystrom. What do you think Rita Guarino will have learned about her West Ham side in this first 75 minutes? I think the individual mistakes are costing her side at the moment. I think you look at the 5 goals, and most of them, if not all, have come from moments of lapse of concentration or just a lack of quality, and that's really what's cost them today. But if she can sort that out, then perhaps there's something to work on. There's been a couple of glimpses of hope, and this is almost like a free hit. I know you can't really afford to have too many of those in the WSL with so few games, but it's almost a game that you kind of write off at the start of the season, where you think that's not where we're going to target getting points from. Okay, they did last season and that was fantastic for them, but generally speaking, the likes of Chelsea away, Manchester City away, that's not where you're going to pick up the bulk of your points. So she'll have seen a lot about her side, how they can organise themselves, the potential of what they have, but I think it's the games against those around them that will really tell a lot more stories. Chelsea give the ball away cheaply. Into the feet of the recently introduced Wanderler. It goes. Loses her footing on the slippery surface here. 14 minutes to go. Chelsea 5, West Ham 0. Held back by Potter in the midfield. Baltimore, wonderful footwork. Berman got her toe caught there by Asseyi, who's left their foot in a few times on Chelsea defenders.
I think we just got sound in our ear of the Chelsea bench saying something similar. She's leaving her foot in.
There's Baltimore. Morgan in the way. Well, frustration is obviously going to boil over to some extent.
Good, Layla. Yes, Leon. Delay. Yes, Layla. Go, Layla.
Here's Berman, closed down by Wanderler. Yeah, Layla Wanderler encouraged by the West Ham United bench. Only 19 years of age is the Swiss forward. Okay, with the interception, boots it up into the grey sky. Potter wins the header ahead of Ueki, and Cannerud is there to get the second ball. It's so often, well, maybe not often, but is a proven way of winning. If you can outwork a higher quality team, you can get a result. But Chelsea's quality and work rate has been absolutely magnificent. This is a ball over the top here, and the offside flag is raised. The ball finds the back of the net by Aguro right in the strike, but the flag up a long time before she struck that ball.
Yeah, it was. Seeing the flag go up nice and early there. And still a nice finish from Guru Wrighton, player of supreme quality who doesn't quite get as many minutes as she once did in this Chelsea side. But yeah, you're right, as a team like West Ham coming here today, you hope that not only do your opponents have a bit of an off day, but that they don't really fancy it and sort of take their foot off the gas. But we saw particularly in that Lauren James goal, they will work hard and they will press you, and if that happens, added to their quality, then it can be a really difficult day for you.
Here's Cannerud now. Chelsea looking for more. Cannerud, low cross in, Nystrom's there. Shanks it away, and that'll be a throw-in over on the far side. But the combination of Cannerud and Carpenter down the right, they have looked lethal all afternoon.
Yeah, they've been a real threat, involved in many, many good things today. And then you have to say that Baltimore on the left has looked wonderful as well, and Alyssa Thompson when she was on. They've just got so much class around the pitch and coming off the bench as well. And when it does click, it looks really good.
And you have to remember as well, no Beever-Jones or Walsh today either for Chelsea.
Yeah, and I think you look at the subs bench, the likes of Lexi Potter getting a run out today, it shows that their depth maybe isn't quite what it used to be, which is a crazy thing to say when you do look at their squad. They are missing one or two, as you mentioned.
They're going to make another change by the looks of things. Now Chelsea. And it's young Chloe Sarwi who's going to come on. Sandy Baltimore exits the pitch. A great afternoon for Sandy Baltimore. 2 goals for her, scoring the 5th from the penalty spot, and it's young Sarwi who comes on, another teenager with an opportunity to impress.
Yeah, I think if I'm Baltimore, I'm pleased with my afternoon's work. Maybe a bit disappointed I'm not going to get the chance to get the match ball, but yeah, there's plenty of football left to play this season, and she'll want to be fit and ready to go. So understandable substitution from Sonia Bonpastor, and a chance for a youngster to come in and get some really valuable minutes in a low pressure game.
Here is Sarwi now. First touch of the afternoon. Shrugs off a West Ham defender. Brighton. Only 17 years of age is Chloe Sarwi. Only turned 17 last month as well. It's a heavy touch from Berman, and Chelsea players can't work it out between the two of them. Through the legs of Kerr, who not said too much since she emerged 20 minutes or so ago.
No, Chelsea has sort of just taken a little bit of a foot off the gas in the last 10-15 minutes or so. Lots of changes, maybe affecting the flow. of the game.
As Chloe Sawi comes steaming in. Looked like she caught the heel of Fionn Morgan right under the nose of Rita Guarino.
I think she felt she was fouled, and that wasn't given. She was going to work hard and try and get the ball back for her team, and it's kind of 6-1, half a dozen of the other in the end, I think. Both sides claiming for a free kick and nothing given for either.
This time the free kick is given. Joanna Cannerid winning the free kick. There's West Ham ready Sarana Pubel. That's Vivian Asahi, who's coming off. A few boos for her as she leaves the field of play with a wry smile on her face. Panto season was last month, but clearly still a villain on the pitch here.
Yeah, she made herself known amongst the Chelsea back line today. I think, you know, it's been a difficult afternoon for the forward players of West Ham. Not too much to work with. A couple of half chances where you thought she might have just been slid through but didn't come off.
Sawi tries to knock it around the corner for Wrighton, but gets it wrong. There's Potter, fizzes it into the feet of Cannerid. Difficult one to trap. Balumu down the line. Remarkable that she's still playing, considering she was hooked at half-time, but then re-emerged. There's Cannerid. Gets the lucky ricochet. Wrighton. Berman, committed tackle by the defender. Now Sawi, the teenager. What can she do? Puts it through the legs of the defender. Still Chloe Sawi. Can't get away from Riko Ueki, though.
Yeah, just didn't ever quite look like she was 100% confident in what she was trying to do there, Chloe Sawi. But the fact that she's been put on shows that her manager's got confidence in her. Definitely one to watch for the future.
100% making her WSL debut today. As is young Lexi Potter, a couple of teenage academy graduates who remember today for all the right reasons. That ball just about stayed in play. Chelsea's defenders switched off. Pubel didn't for West Ham. Guillemot under pressure and falls back to Hannah Hampton, who will also be absolutely thrilled to be back in the starting lineup today after a quad injury kept her out at the end of 2025.
Yeah, and she'll be particularly pleased that she hasn't necessarily been overworked by any means, even in terms, not just in terms of the saves. She only had to make a couple, if that. She hasn't really had to strike any long balls or take any goal kicks, really. A nice one to ease her way back in, test out that quad without pushing it too far.
Yeah, that one flying save in the first half is the only moment I can really think of where she was properly called into action, as West Ham win a free kick out on this right-hand side.
Yeah, I think that and the corner that was under her bar that she ended up getting a free kick from, she's been very, very quiet.
Sarana Pubel tripped by Sawi. Deep free kick for West Ham into the near post. It goes, and Hannah Hampton takes the catch all day. Not going to go down as a shot on target, that one, I don't think.
Not quite.
Here's young Chloe Sawi now. Chelsea looking for even more goals. Very few options around her, and unfortunately gives it away to Chiki. Big tackle in the middle, though, made by Captain. Seen a lot of the ball since coming on as young Chloe Sawi.
Yeah, and I just wonder if she was playing in an under-21s game or a youth team game, whether she'd have been a little bit more confident and direct in driving with the ball. She was looking like she wants to bring in a more senior member of the team into play. I want to see her go at her on her own and, you know, try something.
And here she is now. She keeps looking up and down the line to see if there's any movement. There's not much. There is now. Can't return it to cap time.
I think it's a natural thing for a youngster, though, especially one that's only just turned 17. You just want to keep it simple. You don't want the more senior players to get on your back for trying too much, so it's understandable. You can clearly see she's got some quality. And she'll learn from this, regardless of what happens.
Sarah Bracero has just been brought on for West Ham United. Rita Guarino getting to know all of her squad this afternoon.
Apart from Cascarino.
Apart from Cascarino. And judging by the reaction of her manager as well, she was completely as in the dark as the player as to why she couldn't come on. Rico Ueki is the player who's come off for the final few minutes. Good touch from Hanshaw. That one wasn't, though. Now Cannerid. Can Chelsea punish West Ham for giving the ball away once again? Cannerid. Carpenter. Can't loft it in. It strikes the West Ham defender and goes behind for a corner, but there was an offside flag raised against the Australian flying fullback Carpenter.
Yeah, again, it's that link-up between Cannerid and Carpenter for Chelsea that's proven to be a really strong partnership on the right-hand side. Just drifted offside in the end, Carpenter.
Well, we're heading towards the final minute of the game here at Kingsmeadow. Chelsea very much in control. And Helen Wood, if I was to ask you for one name to name player of the match, who do you think you'd choose? I can give you a minute if you want.
I think it'd be a toss-up between Baltimore. Obviously, her goal was exceptional and scored the penalty as well. I think she's been a real threat, but I do think Cannerid and Carpenter have been brilliant on that right-hand side for Chelsea. So I'm going to say I would give it to Cannerid on this afternoon's performance. I think she's been really bright, involved in a lot of good things for her team, possesses a lot of quality out there.
Joanna Cannerid with the Player of the Match award. Been incredibly lively down the right-hand side. Scored a hat-trick in the final game of 2025 against Liverpool, but unable to find a goal this afternoon here at Kingsmeadow. An additional 4 minutes at the end of this one, as a few supporters start to head towards the exit. They've been treated to 5 goals already. Definitely seen plenty of entertainment in the first 90 minutes of this match. Here's Bracero in a tussle with Potter. Carpenter in the way of Chiki's ball forward. That'll be a West Ham United throw-in, which Balumu looks set to take. She looks set to get a full 90 minutes as well, Balumu, despite going off at the break.
Yeah, very strange turn of events that. But I think, you know, going back to Rita Guarino and what she's learnt about this West Ham team, although they haven't really created anything in the second half, I feel they've been a little bit more robust in their defending. They've dealt with the Chelsea threat a lot better. Obviously
Oh, and it's a weak pass back. Sam Kerr was onto it, but off the line quickly was Shemik to make the save.
Yeah, they obviously conceded the penalty, but other than that, Chelsea haven't been as big a threat, I don't think. And they have cut out, although we've just seen one there, they cut out the individual errors a little bit more that led to the goals in the first half. So, you know, that's a good sign of recovery and resilience from the team, which I think she will know there's a long road ahead and lots of improvements to be made.
Once again, though, they'll be looking at the Liverpool match later on this afternoon and praying that they continue to have 0 wins this season in the WSL. Here's Cannerid for Kerr. Great connection on that volley from Sam Kerr. Well, the Australian could only guide it straight. And the goalkeeper, Shemmick. It was brilliant play, though, by Cannerid, and Kerr's volley, not bad at all.
Yeah, again, it comes from the right, doesn't it? Cannerid whipping in a ball. Difficult one for Kerr to control, but she does it well. Just probably doesn't get enough direction or power on it in the end, but...
Brighton to Sawi. They're looking for more here at Chelsea, but Siren's in the way. Now Wanderler. This is better from West Ham, but the return pass cut out. That's more like it from West Ham. Wanderler drives into the Chelsea penalty area. Very few options around her. She goes down. I think she might have tripped herself up on the turf there, Wanderler, but full of energy and something positive for Layla Wanderler to hang her hat on.
Yeah, definitely. Just seeing a replay of Sam Kerr's effort there. Just doesn't get enough power on it, really. Tries to guide it, but maybe a little side volley on the laces might have got a better connection. But yeah, positive from West Ham. Wanderler causing problems, but a good challenge in the end from Berman to thwart the danger.
West Ham with an opportunity in injury time here to reduce the deficit. They are good from corners. It's hung up towards the back post. And Chelsea are able to deal with it. Kerr. Now Cannerid. Brighton. That's a good knockdown. Carpenter. Now Potter. Maybe one more chance in injury time here for Chelsea. Plenty of blue shirts flooding forward. Captain takes her time. Carpenter. Captain. All of her teammates are in the penalty box seemingly. Cannerid looking for a sixth. Sawi loops it up. Kerr's lingering. Here she is now. Brighton on the left foot. Flashes it across the face of goal and behind for a goal kick. And that is the final action of this one here at Kings Meadow. It was a memorable end to 2025 with a 9-1 victory against Liverpool for Chelsea, but they start 2026 with the incredible scoreline of Chelsea 5, West Ham United 0. A memorable afternoon for Chelsea. It all started perfectly inside the first minute of this game. An own goal by the West Ham defender, Uendo. Completely missed up her footing. But there were so many star players out on the pitch this afternoon. Johanna Cannerid, one of those. She didn't get a goal, but she certainly impressed you, Helen Ward.
Yeah, I enjoyed her performance today. I think her and Carpenter have got a really good synergy together on the right for Chelsea, and they linked up time and time again, created opportunities for their teammates. And yeah, I just think she's a really positive player for the side. Delivery's good, energy's brilliant, and just plays a really important role in that Chelsea team amongst a team of superstars. Special mention also, as I said, Ellie Carpenter, Sandy Baltimore. I thought at times it looked too easy for Lauren James as well in that first half in particular. But yeah, Cannerid doing a wonderful job for her team.
Well, you said it in the second half about Lauren James. She looked rather relaxed when she was playing out there at times.
Yeah, and that's the style that she exudes. She's just full of confidence, very calm, knows her next, not just her next move, but probably the next 3 or 4 in front of her. And sometimes that means that other players aren't on her wavelength. Thankfully for her, in this Chelsea team, they normally are. But she's just, yeah, she takes it all in her stride. It's like playground football at times for players like Lauren James, and yeah, Sonia Bonpastor will be glad to have her back fully fit and ready to start games, as I think they missed her and her creativity in the first half of the season at times.
A familiar smile on the face of the Chelsea manager, Sonia Bonpastor. Another victory for the French gaffer. All smiles, even from those freezing cold sat on the Chelsea bench. Hannah Hampton looks pretty cold as well, having been stood relatively motionless in her goal for that 90 minutes.
Yes.
Rita Guarino holds her first post-match team analysis, team talk if you want to call it that.
Yeah, and I think there'll be lots to dissect from this afternoon for her and her technical and analysts staff. I think, you know, it's a difficult game to come into. It's a different time of the year to come in as a head coach, but when your first game is Chelsea away, that's a really tough ask. So they'll regroup, they'll go back to the drawing board, and they'll start to get some more good work in over the next few days, I'm sure.
A great victory here for Chelsea, and the player of the match is with our reporter now.
Congratulations, a very dominant performance. How much did you enjoy that?
No, it was a fun game to play today. I think we started the game great. It's always nice to score a goal early in the game, and I think when we scored a second goal, we feel like we have control, and then it's easy to play when everyone is in a good mood and we score on our chances. So yeah, very, very pleased with that.
How important was it to bounce back from that defeat with Everton here with a home win for 2026?
Of course, really important. It's the second half of the season now, and we know what we need to do, and it's about winning every game, take every game for what it is. And I think, yeah, we started this year great, and yeah, of course, we always look forward and trying to not look back too much. But yeah, of course, very important to start the year with a win.
And obviously Arsenal failed to win yesterday, so how important was it that you capitalised on them dropping points?
Yeah, of course, we all are aware of that, but with that being said, I think it's always easy. I mean, it's important to always focus on ourselves and what we can do, and it's about winning football matches. That's how we win titles. So for us, it's all about focus on ourselves, and yeah, we know what we need to do to win.
Great, thank you very much. Congratulations, you're the Barclays player of the match.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Joanna Kanneryd, the player of the match this afternoon. And she may not have scored any goals, but she certainly played her part in the Chelsea forward line. And like I said, Helen, there were so many players you could have picked for player of the match.
Yeah, I think there were a number of players who showed their class and their worth to this Chelsea team. I just think that she's consistently a really good player for the side, and today, right through from the start to the end, she was involved in everything good that came from Chelsea today. And yeah, she didn't get her goal, she got an inadvertent assist, but again, just involved in all the good parts of Chelsea's performance this afternoon.
Well, Chelsea had so many players that were shining. I think that's Sandy Baltimore hidden behind the West Ham substitute. 2 goals for her. Her first goal in this match was an absolute cracker. Well, we can hear from a West Ham player now. In just a moment, we'll hear from a West Ham player. In fact, we can hear now.
So you conceded in the very first minute. Was it just really hard to recover from that?
Yeah, it was really hard. If you start the game like this, I think it's always hard to come back into the game. But it was our own mistake. This goal shouldn't have happened. This is what makes it even worse.
Do you feel like you created a lot of your own problems today?
Yeah, I think we did, especially in the first half. We had a lot of individual mistakes, which we need to stop immediately, because you can't win games like this and you can't compete against like the best teams in the league. I'm proud of us that we showed character in the second half. we tried to put everything in, but today was just not more possible.
What do you think was missing away from those individual errors?
I think it's too early to say. I don't really know, except from these individual things. We had a game plan. We wanted to play straightforward on the sides. Also, this didn't work out as well. We weren't on the second balls. We didn't win the duels. Yeah, we lost everything too easy.
Still plenty of games to play. How do you pick yourselves up after today?
Yeah, I think we shouldn't go too deep into this game. It's the first week in training again, the first game with the new coach. We need to keep working. I think today we saw what we need to work on, and we will do everything to get better.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Difficult afternoon for West Ham United. Thumped 5-0 here in Rita Guarino's first game in charge as West Ham United manager. Things can only get better for the East London side. Aston Villa winning 2-1 at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. A real challenging afternoon there for Aston Villa. Manchester City continue to lead Chelsea by 6 points in the WSL table after their 2-0 victory against Everton, as Spurs managed to edge out Leicester City by just a goal to nil. And there is the table. London City Lionesses taking on Liverpool in around 25 minutes time on Merseyside, I should say. But at the top of the table, Manchester City 6 points clear of Chelsea in second. West Ham United still lingering just above that relegation place, minus 20 on their goal difference. Well, we can hear from the West Ham manager, Rita Guarino, now.
Rita, not the start you would have wanted, but what have you learned about your team today?
Yeah, not the result, of course. Yeah, something to that we need to improve, but we knew before to play this kind of game that we have a lot of room of improvement. And today, yeah, we take away many things to reflect and to work as well.
What will you be focusing on after today's match?
Yeah, you know, we miss a lot. We done a lot of mistakes that consider easy goal to the opponent. So it's one of the first things that we work on. And yeah.
Do you think you created a lot of your own problems today?
Sorry?
Did you create a lot of your own problems today?
Yeah. You know, a lot of problems today. Yeah, of course.
So what positives can you take on from today? What positives can you learn from?
But always, is always what I can see during training session is that their commitment is a high level. They try to do their best, and not every time they can. But the commitment, I think, that is something very good.
Were you happy with the response that your players had, especially from the second half performance?
Yeah, of course. Also the players that coming in, and not just the starting 11. So everyone in the second half, yeah, were more organized. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And can you clear up what happened with Estelle Cascarino and why she didn't come on?
I would like to know, because she taped her hearing, so is. She play also games in Champions League with this, and I don't know what's happened, but we miss a player debut in the league and minutes on her feet. So it's a big miss for us today.
How frustrating is that for you?
It's frustrating. There is frustration because you know, you plan. Yeah, you plan that she play this game and yeah, and nothing has happened for just hearing with tape. Something to review.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot of confusion for Rita Guarino over why Estelle Cascarino couldn't come on. But there's the final score: Chelsea 5, West Ham United 0. A big win for Chelsea. But Helen, we had a kind of answer there from the West Ham manager. She's just as confused as we are as to why Cascarino couldn't come on.
Yeah, and I expect there'll be an inquiry into that way beyond this afternoon, but it's a really difficult and frustrating situation, not just for the manager but for the player herself. She was desperate to get on and make her debut for her new club. It's a really disappointing and embarrassing thing to then go and have to sit back down on the bench and not get your place on the pitch. So yeah, something needs to be learnt from this, either from the player's perspective or if it's a match officials doing too much and maybe implementing a rule that's not quite as clear as it should be. So who knows what will come from that, but at the end of the day she didn't get on the pitch and wasn't able to make an impact for her side this afternoon, and that's disappointing for West Ham.
Well, we've heard from a frustrated West Ham manager. Why don't we hear from a delighted Chelsea manager?
Sonia, congratulations, a very dominant performance from your side today.
Yeah, I think proud of the players, the performance they put all together today. Always important to win, especially in the first game back to the league. So yeah, never easy to get back to the rhythm and to the intensity we want to play with. But yeah, again today, dominant performance and results, so glad for that.
It was the second fastest goal ever scored in the WSL, so it doesn't get much better to start like that.
Yes, you know, sometimes when we speak about having a strong start in the game, I think that's the perfect way to do that in action, and I think that's the best way to put ourselves in the game. So yeah, really good from the players.
What do you think it was today that gave you so much control?
I think again, like when you have the opportunity to score really quickly in the game, just gives you even more confidence. Probably hurts also the other team in terms of mental aspects. And yeah, the most important thing also when you're able to score the first one is to quickly be able to score the second one to kill the game. So I think yeah, being up for a few goals at the halftime was a good thing. And I think yeah, we could manage the game the second half the way we wanted to, rotating players, giving the opportunity to youngsters to have some good minutes. So it was good today for that reason too.
And how important was it to get all 3 points today after Arsenal slipped up yesterday?
Yeah, again, I think for us, we know exactly what we want to achieve in the league. The title race is really difficult and tough. We are 6 points behind City. We know we need to win every game. That's what we are in our control. So yeah, that's what we are looking for. Being sure like we go into every game with the right mentality, and we'll see what happens.
Great. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
A very delighted Sonia Bompastor there after her side stormed to success here. The perfect start for Chelsea here at Kingsmeadow in 2026. But that's it from us here. A big thank you to my co-commentator Helen Ward this afternoon. The full-time score here at Kingsmeadow, Chelsea 5, West Ham United 0.